In today's video, what to do when you start a weight loss diet and you gain weight.
All by myself.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Paul Rebella from ProPhysique.com, and today's video is going to be about what happens when we gain weight when we start a fat loss diet. Some of the things we can look for and how we should adjust it. Now, my question came from my Instagram direct message. So my Instagram is here below on the screen. And for those that are interested, you go to my Instagram, you send me a direct message, I screenshot it, I save it for a rainy day or a sunny day, as it were, and then I do a video on the topic. Questions that I like to answer are questions that I kind of see a trend over and over, or something that I haven't answered before. I have over 700 videos on my YouTube channel, so if you haven't subscribed, please do. It makes my day. And if you're curious about a topic and you think, I'd like Paul to answer this question, well, search my YouTube. I might have already done it. There's a good chance. I'm also often updating my thoughts on these topics. So if I haven't reached it now, I'll probably do it again in the near future. So let's talk about this situation. So here's the question on the screen for you guys. Our friend here was in a reverse diet, put on some weight, 7 pounds in fact, but did a good job in adding some calories. So when the time came, let's get this fat loss diet started. Pulled 500 calories from the diet, and after a week was actually up a pound. So let's talk about a lot of things. Now, as a coach, I try to really manage as many of the things as I can when it comes to these situations, because you gave me some information, but there's so much information missing. And we can go over a lot of the reasons why the scale may be up. So the first thing, the scale. What does the scale tell us? The scale tells us our body weight related to that scale. So the first thing is, are you weighing yourself at the same time every day? I'm assuming you are. But I always have my clients check their weight first thing in the morning after they use the bathroom. I find that to be the most consistent time. Once you add food, perspiration, training, all those things, clothing, whatever it might be, you're messing with the scale, in my opinion. So first thing in the morning, get on that scale. That's your weight. Now, let's say you dropped 500 calories from your diet. I'm not going to argue that fact, meaning 500 calories a day, which would be 3,500 calories for those that are familiar with exercise science. That should be 1 pound of body fat lost per week. Well, if you pulled 500 calories out of your diet and you didn't see a drop on the scale, does that mean you didn't lose body fat? That's not what that means. So there are other things we need to pay attention to. The most common one would be measurements. I like to take some measurements. You know, when it comes to body fat, there are certain places that body fat likes to store that we don't put muscle on. The number one would be the abdomen or the lower back waist area. That measurement tends to be the most variable when it comes to body fat. So let's say you go ahead and start your diet. Take some measurements, maybe the thigh, the lower abdomen, even around your arm, your chest, okay? Then let's say a week later, the scale has not changed at all, but you take your measurements again, and lo and behold, you've lost some size on your inches, on these areas that are body fat. Well, what does that mean? Well, probably means you're seeing a little bit of recomposition. Could be that you've added some lean body mass. Perhaps you started a new supplement, your training is going really well now. Sometimes the added focus of I'm going into a fat loss diet means you pay a lot more attention to your exercise and training program. You get in the gym more days. You might have some delayed onset muscle soreness. DOMS. What does DOMS mean? Well, it means fluid retention. Sore muscles weigh more, okay? So there's potential that the scale is not changing, but you are losing body fat, okay? Another good indicator that I often use with my clients is how do clothes fit. Our clothes judge us every single day. You put your shirt on and it goes, whoa, buddy, back away from the pizza. Some days you put your clothes on and it feels a little loose. You put your shorts on and they start hanging lower on your hips. And then you think, man, I've lost some weight. So pay attention to those things. Those seem like minute things, but they definitely tell us a story. Let's get into digestion. A lot of people, when they switch diet programs, okay, so we're gonna go on a 500 calorie diet program. Most people change their diets to accommodate for that by adding higher volume foods. So you take away a bunch of calories, but you add in foods that are much higher in volume. Well, what happens when we add higher volume foods? Usually fiber goes up. Usually people add in a lot of vegetables. People associate being healthy with how many vegetables they eat. That's fine. I don't have a problem with you eating as many vegetables as you want. Just be aware that if you eat a lot of vegetables, they digest very slowly. And if they create digestive distress, they can actually ferment and cause bloating, which is pulling water into the intestines, and that is going to create some weight on the scale. That's right, there's your magic scale staying steady. Body fat is not the only thing that affects the scale. You need to pay attention to the overall picture, okay? Now, if the trend continues and you don't see a scale change, well, perhaps there is something else going on. Maybe your caloric intake is not what you think. There's something called an adaptive metabolism as well, something we deal with as coaches when we're trying to get people to add calories or to lose body fat, is how adaptive is the metabolism. Sometimes when you pull calories out, the metabolism adapts quickly. You said you were in a reverse diet for a short period, but I don't know what your diet history looks like. A lot of that comes into play when it comes to how successful a weight loss diet is going to be. If someone just comes off a 6-month diet and then does a 2-week reverse, a 4-week reverse, a 6-week reverse, and then tries to go back into diet mode and lose body fat, well, I got some bad news. Your body hasn't had time to recover. The metabolic compensation that's happened is going to take longer to come out of and restore than just a short 4, 6, 8 week. And I know when the scale goes up, you get down on yourself, but just maintaining at a higher calorie level for a longer period of time might be all you need to have some success down the road. All right, guys, hopefully this helps. Just understand that just because the scale isn't moving doesn't mean you're not being successful. So look at all the surrounding things that could be going on, and we'll make some progress. All right, guys, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
By myself.